My name is Jessica Ryder, and I suffer from chemical dependency as well as mental illness. I have struggled with addiction for over 12 years. I was diagnosed in July of 2015 with bipolar 1 severe mood disorder with rapid cycling. During the last year of my addiction, I can remember telling people that the only way I could get off of drugs was if I had something else to stabilize my mood swings until I was past the withdrawal state. And while I said that in all seriousness, I never realized how true of a statement it was. When I came into the Remerge program June 29th of 2015, I knew that it was the start to a new life for me and that it wouldn't be easy, but it would be worth it. I was wanting to get sober for many years, but it was always too difficult for me on my own, and now I know why. Once I came into the Remerge program and I was diagnosed as bipolar, I didn't want to believe it. I remember insisting that I didn't need to be on medication. Part of me thought it was that because I was past the withdrawal stage that I was fine. The other reason I was so determined that I didn't suffer from mental illness was because I had this image in my head of what people with mental illness should look like. Just how people have the same mental image of what people with addiction should look like. And I knew that I did not fit that stereotype. I knew that I had seriously fluctuating emotions, but isn't that normal when you're coming off of drugs? Especially when you've been doing them for numerous years? Well, after talking to several people about my feelings and my concerns about being bipolar, the staff at Remerge convinced me to just give the medication a try for 45 days, and after that 45 days, if I still felt as though it was unnecessary, then we would reevaluate my diagnosis. Humoring them wound up being one of the best choices I made in 2015. During that 45 days, I started to feel better than I had in years. Not only had I been clean for 5 months, so I was getting some clarity back in my life, but now my moods and emotions were stabilizing as well. The self-awareness that I had gained was incredible. I was able to notice when I was exhibiting symptoms of manic spells. Still, there was a part of me that continued to say, that wasn't being manic, you were just excited about something. Or, you weren't depressed, you were just tired and sad. Those are normal feelings. You don't need medication for normal feelings. Now, to most people, that sounds like denial. But today, I know that that was my addiction speaking to me. My addiction spoke to me and told me that it wasn't because of the medication that I was feeling better. It was because I'd gotten off drugs, and I'd been off it long enough that my roller coaster of emotions was finally leveling out. A voice in the back of my head telling me to not believe what was being shown to me. My addiction knew that if I were to stop taking that medication, I would soon be back on that roller coaster of emotions, which would be so intense that I would just want them to stop. And I'm sure we all know how addicts stop feelings. Thankfully, I continued to take the medication for several months, but that part of me still held on, saying that the medication wasn't what was making me feel better. Then I was finally able to see the reality of it when some of my old patterns of thinking and behavior resulted in me being off my medication for 20 days. The first 5 or 6 weren't so bad. After that, everything started to go downhill. By day 11, I was fully accepting of the fact that I was bipolar. My mood swings were so intense that I felt like I was losing my mind. I would go from so excited and happy on top of the world like nothing could harm me, and then out of nowhere, I would hate myself, my life. I was a failure, I didn't want to get out of bed, and I was mad at the world. Sometimes in the same day. There was never any real reason for the change, it just happened. My mental illness and my addiction go hand in hand. They work together like a team. My addiction caused my mental illness to increase, in severity, which in turn made me not want to feel like my emotions were out of control. I look at it like I was trying to cure my sickness with an allergy. My hopes are that today's society can begin to understand more of what people like myself go through. The repetitive cycle that is so hard to break free from. I would like to express my eternal gratitude to North Care and to Women's Remerge because they gave me the tools and the assistance I needed to break free from the chains that held me prisoner.